All right, I'm here with Jon Swartz, the technology writer from USA Today, and it's your first year at South by Southwest. What do you think so far?
It's pretty overwhelming. I got here last night, and there are people everywhere. There are panels everywhere, parties everywhere. It's just it's not your typical trade show or not your typical tech show. By comparison, I went to CES a couple of weeks ago, where it was just acres and acres of products. Here it's acres and acres of people with ideas versus a bunch of hardware and software that's put up on a table.
Which do you like better?
I prefer people. I prefer talking to people who have interesting ideas rather than having a marketing brochure shoved in my face or looking at a 25 different laptops that do essentially the same thing. That is interesting to a point, but you also are kind of more motivated by the actual ideas behind products, or you see something flowering here versus going to CES and seeing a number of companies that have been in existence for decades who are basically competing in the same spot. This is kind of out of the box, actually.
What are you most looking forward to at South by this year?
I want to learn more about PlanCast, which I've heard a lot about. There are a lot of location-based apps that are being built off of the Foursquare platform or Gowalla that might be interesting. Also, the beauty of this place is just finding out something new that you have no idea about.
How are you covering this for the paper?
Well, I wrote a story about location-based services, which is the big theme here, it seems. I did that for Friday's paper. I'm blogging, and I hope to do a reporter's notebook, which is a combination of blogging and reporting. It's kind of a mixture. In a sense, we're going through, at USA Today, we're going through the same thing that almost everybody else is. We're trying to see that fine line between writing for the traditional old media versus the new media. We're trying to do both at the same time. And I'm trying to get ideas, actually, from people here about how to cover things in the new way.
Well, there seems to be some disagreement with the new media and old media people. I'm a former old media member myself. Do you think the paper gets it? Do you think your paper in particular?
I think ours does get it. I think the amount of effort and resources that we're putting into the digital components is almost on a par with the print side. It is amazing how much strides we've made. It's been painful the last few years, but it's necessary. And I worked at a lot of other newspapers that didn't do that. So it is encouraging, and I think a lot of the major journalism stars in tech now are coming from places like Mashable or from TechCrunch still, or it used to be Valleywag. You can learn from some of those guys. I think we can learn from each other.